Hello, I am fresh off a call. It was a group webinar and it was hosted by my friend Nikki, who her and her partner Rob have just been on a ayahuasca trip out in Colombia. It's an organised trip. They went with, organised by two of our mentors, Guy and Ilan Ferdman, who have their own coaching business, and they're just phenomenal brothers. They're brothers basically. And so Nikki and Rob attended, and so she gave us day by day really what happened for her. And it's always going to be different for everyone. Anybody that doesn't know what ayahuasca is, it's plant medicine. And you go and basically take this plant medicine and you have whatever experiences you have. And it's very much about releasing, releasing bad energy, if you like, and also being more open to actually what's all around us and we never see it, and being more open to energy. Nikki was, I mean, it is hallucinogenic. A lot of people have hallucinations. Well, you say hallucinations, we don't know whether they are or whether they're real, who knows? But yeah, it's all about, think LSD or acid or whatever. Some people have those kinds of experiences. It's a few thousand-year-old tradition, and it's performed by shamans, shamanistas, who you can only become. I believe I might have got this wrong, but you can only become a shaman, and you have to learn for years and years, and it's sort of passed down, and you're chosen to be a shaman. You can't just say I want to be a shaman, I think. But there's very much a lot of generations become shamans again. So yeah, so she was just sharing her experiences, and she had this wonderful. She is very much like a sort of Mother Earth type figure. She's very nurturing. She's always been there for me in terms of if I've been having bad times or whatever, and that's kind of how she is. And it happened while she was out there. There was a group of them all doing it, and they all seemed to flock to Nikki when they were on this ayahuasca and just felt the comfort of her, and it's just that sort of nurturing and that love sort of thing. And I'm not going to go through all her experiences because it wouldn't relate. You wouldn't really relate to it, but it was just interesting or fascinating to hear, because it's something that I will be doing. I'm not sure when, but I will be doing it. And everybody has a different. Some people really, they're in pain. They're in pain with their stomachs, and if you've got ongoing health issues and that, it's all about being able to release those. And she actually saw her higher self. She actually physically saw her higher self, and she just said she was absolutely beautiful, but she was blue, which was interesting. You immediately think of Avatar, and yeah, I think the big thing for Nikki was realising that she struggles to receive love, and she's very similar to me in a way. She's very much done everything herself, doesn't need any help. I can do it, I'm strong enough, I'm not going to show my weakness or whatever. And yeah, she's very, very similar. Well, she's exactly like that. I think she's probably more like that than I am, but I've definitely got that in me. And funnily enough, only quite recently I was having a conversation with a friend about the frustrations of still not having achieved the financial freedom, although it's less of a frustration these days, but it is still a frustration. And he sort of brought it round to, well, why is that, and because I'm doing a quantum healing on Saturday, and she suggests that you send a load of questions that you want to ask before the session, and you're basically asking your higher self. And one of them was about the struggle, when am I going to finally get this financial freedom or this life freedom that I've been searching for a long time. And he basically said, well, it's probably, you need to word it in the right way. How can I release the need to hang on to this struggle? The need to hang on to struggle, because pretty much that's what I've done on and off all through my life. I've been a single parent. Even when I was married, I felt like a single parent. You know, I almost went bankrupt a few years ago. I've always taken on the responsibility of looking after, you know, my mum, my parents financially. Was panicked about that, so ended up buying some properties with that in mind. You know, all these things, and then but it also almost feels like, will I ever achieve it? Am I good enough to achieve it? Doesn't it just happen to other people? These are all the things that I've thought over the years. And I think it's obviously still playing out. It's a very, very powerful subconscious process that I'm not aware of anymore. I think I've done a lot of shit, dealt with a lot of shit of my own, and come out much better and stronger and let go of a load of things. But I can't have let go of it all, can I? Because otherwise I'd be sitting here in clover and not going for another 9-to-5 job. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that for Nikki and Rob, her partner, that went, and all the people that went, she said it basically gives you almost like a key, or codes to unlock certain things. So it's not like you suddenly leave the jungle, come home and you can see everything in a different light and all that sort of thing. It's, you choose to use it as and when it comes, as and when. She said sometimes, you know, she's been home a week, she doesn't want to sit there and be a grumpy old cow, because it's easier than having to be that better, higher you. And I get that, I understand that. Sometimes you just want to sit in your own little shitty grump, don't you? But she said, yeah, so you basically feel like you've got these keys or codes, and it's the start, you know, and you just continue to grow from that, but with a lot more awareness of, and it changes your perspective. Like one of the things that got mentioned was, you know, she doesn't believe now that there's one true purpose for everybody. And actually that was one of my questions that I sent off to this woman that I'm going to do the quantum healing. But as I was writing it, it didn't feel right writing it anyway, because I've kind of got to that point now where I don't believe there is one true purpose. I think we are all where we are in life in perfectly divine time, and what will be, you know. If we zig and zag and it takes us in a completely different direction, but it feels great, then so what? And maybe it's not being that rock star at Wembley Stadium that I always aspired to be in my 20s. God forbid. But so yeah. So anyway, I will leave it there, I think. If anybody is interested in ayahuasca, or certainly the webinar I was on tonight where she shared her experiences, we have recorded it, so I can share it with you if you would like to see it. Or if you've got any questions, or you're thinking about doing ayahuasca yourself, just give me a shout. All right, see you on the next one. See you later.